here at Motorsports Expo with a young lady that we have watched grow up. I remember I first met Savannah Laflair. She was running at the Syracuse Microd Club. She did that with 5 years. For 5 years, she just finished her third year in a Sportsman, just outside the top 10 at both Brewerton and Fulton Speedway. Had a top 5 at Fulton, and I remember it was a couple of years ago you had a top 3 at Brewerton. Yep. So how are we doing? How are things going with the Sportsman?
We're doing really good. This year's looking a lot brighter than last year. We have more help. We have a new sponsor, 13th Hour Rising. Welcome aboard. No, but we're looking really bright this year.
How'd you get a hold of Fred and everybody at 13th Hour Rising?
My mom and I work with him over at Shingarians and 13th
Hour. Okay.
And so we've been close friends like for a while. And then they just climbed aboard, which we're very grateful for.
Yeah, and what it is, basically, it's a haunted house. It's kind of, I think, east of Fulton. Is that a good way to put it, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a haunted hayride.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's actors. Have you done it?
Yes, I've done the wagons, and I like that.
Is it scary?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so bring somebody to
Yeah.
to grab onto when you get scared. So, okay.
Yeah.
At 18, what do you know now, based before you started Sportsman? What are the biggest things you've learned these past 3 seasons?
I'm still working on the patience part. I say it all the time. Patience, but I'm still working on it. We traveled this series, and that's really helped me. Really expanding everything from different tracks. Really, it helped me gain a feel for my car.
How are you too aggressive? What do you do?
It's not as much as I'm too aggressive right now. It's more of a I'm not aggressive enough.
Okay.
So I'm working on that, but I've gained a better feel for my car.
Okay. Well, you said
able to make adjustments.
Well, you said patience. Do you get sick of looking at the back of somebody's bumper for a couple laps and end up making a mistake?
Yeah, that's my biggest problem. Is I get too much in a rush. I'm like, okay. You gotta go to the front. You gotta. And then I screw myself up worse than if I was to be more patient and stay behind them until it was like the right time.
And I can picture that. You're 7th. You know they're taking 5 out of the heat race, and you get the 2 to go, and
you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, I gotta go, but you don't want to wreck it. You don't want to wreck somebody else.
Yeah.
So does that come in time from what your family and everybody's telling you?
Yeah, it really does. But it also helps. Like, I don't really know how to word it. You gotta get a feel. Like, you gotta have that instinct feeling of when you know it's right.
So know when to pass and when to lay back for another lap.
Yes.
Okay.
Or even half a lap, really.
Okay. Yeah, of course, most tracks, the corners are different. So a lot of times you might catch something in one and then have to tell yourself, well, I'm going to have to wait till he pushes up again in turn 1. Is that a good example?
Yes, that's a perfect example.
Okay. What did you learn from those years in the Microd Club? And you tell me if I'm wrong, because I've known you for 10 years. I think that if somebody, because I see a lot of people starting their kids at 12, 13, 14 in a Sportsman, and they've never done anything before. What kind of stuff did you learn with the Microd Club that helped you your first time in a Sportsman?
Throttle control, my braking, and really just steering the car, like getting a feel for the car. Like with Microds, you feel it 10 times more than on the dirt, but with it's just so different.
Yeah.
Going from asphalt to dirt, but at the same time it's the same because the throttle, the brake, the steering, and the instinct.
Okay.
You gain the instinct by starting off younger.
I remember I talked to Steve Payne. Remember when his kids were running in the club, and I said, what are the biggest things they learned? And he talked about other things. I'm curious what you said. Like even getting in the car, knowing how to belt yourself up, sitting in the staging area, listening to the radio. He said they've already got all that stuff down. So that's another advantage, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. Because I know people still, to this day, having their parents help them get in and out. And it's like, what happens if you get in a wreck on the
Right, you got to get out.
How are you going to get out if you don't know how to do it yourself?
That's very true.
It's such a safety concern. You should know. Practice. Practice at least 5 times. Doing it by yourself.
Yeah, and have somebody with a stopwatch.
Right.
To make sure, can I do it in 15 seconds, 20 seconds? Because if it's 30 seconds, it might be too long, right?
Right. And especially like strapping down your straps, knowing where's the comfortable like spot for you. Like, is it too tight? Are you like too loose?
Right.
Like, all that. It's super safe.
And also remembering, I remember somebody told me this when I did my one season. They say you think you're tight in the car, but after you've gone a pace lap, pull them again because there's going to be a little more room there, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, always, right? Not even most of the time. It's like every single time, right?
Yeah.
Because now you're kind of sunk down in the seat a little more, and next thing you know, right? So
always adjust yourself.
all right. Somebody's trying to make her laugh right now, and they're not doing it, so good job. So who's helping you out outside our 13th Hour Rising Haunted Hayride?
We got 13th Hour, we got Happy Days Dimitri's, we got California East, we got 9/11 Generations, we got Jeff Snack Shack, my dad, over at Vitalis. He's selling snacks, and it's
Nice.
We got...
Don't forget Karen's.
Yeah, Karen's sewing.
Yeah, because if you want to get your name on your suit, they do that, right?
Yes, they'll put some embroidery on it, and if it's too tight, they'll make it bigger for you.
There you go.
We also got My Finney's Fab Shop. We got Sanders, JP and Dar. So many people. Just beyond our sponsors, so many people.
It's amazing how this all worked. You probably never thought when you were 8 that you'd be doing all this and having success along the way. So, been nice watching you grow up. I hope you have a great season. And when you get that first win, I want you to reach out and get a hold of me, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, turn on the notifications and subscribe. We'll be doing a lot of cool stuff. We got a lot of stuff here for Motorsports Expo.